So before I left for Hawaii, I was facing this fear. It was already coming up because I knew we were going snorkeling in a big body ocean. And you remember Jaws, the movie, as a kid? Like, I was fascinated with those things, and I'd always just watch them, and they're always getting eaten by sharks. So, of course, all that was imprinted within me, and I had to work through some of that. So, I was like, well, I'll just save it for the water. And I will close that Akashic loop and everything else that was running. There was so much behind me and sharks and having this like fear that I was going to get eaten. And so anyway, we're in Hawaii and I board the boat. I'm excited. Okay. I'm scared, but I'm also just like so excited feeling. We get there. I signed my waiver. There was a ton of questions. I don't even know. I just initialed everything and I got on the boat. I mean, I guess I signed my life away for the shark to eat me. I really don't know. We get ready. We get over to the little reef spot, okay? And the chick at the end of the boat, they were great people, by the way. Sunlight on the Water, I believe is their name. I will share that with y'all. So Alyssa is her name. She grabs this rope and she jumps into the water. And she has to dive to the bottom part to hook the boat so that the boat stays within the area. I was like, okay, cool. What an awesome girl this is, like she's no fear. She just dove in the water with nothing on, swam to the bottom, hooked this freaking boat to the anchor, and then was like, all right, everybody, come on in. So we got our snorkel gear on. I had an entire face mask that I brought, and then they give us flippers and a pool noodle. Thank God for the pool noodle. That was like my comfort of squeezing a teddy bear. So before I jump in the water, they were like, does anyone have any questions or concerns? And I'm like, I've got a fear of sharks. And they're like, oh, it's no worries. These are really small. Like, there are tons of small sharks that I saw. And they're like not big enough to bite you or something. And I'm like, okay, well, that's comforting. I feel better. And Taylor in the back, the driver, he was like, don't worry. If any shark shows up, I'll come in the water. I'll save you. I'll protect you. And I'm like, okay, cool. We get in the water. I start having a panic attack immediately. So using my little breathing technique that I learned from my friend Allison that does an incredible Qigong, I breathe through it. And I'm like, okay, finally I can put my face mask on without hyperventilating. And I put my face mask on. I look down in the water. It's like, ooh, okay, this is pretty. Well, then they want us to swim away from the boat. And I'm like, okay, let's swim away from the boat. So we started swimming away, and we were a good 30 yards, I want to say, is what we ended up getting out to. Okay, cool. So I look down. I see like 6 sharks. They were baby sharks. And they were like in this group. I swear they were looking at me. And in that moment, I was like making peace with them. I'm like, okay, we're cool. Just do not come swim up here that too close to me. Like, you're close enough. Like, they were just it was like they were in a little pod. And I just observed them. And I'm like, okay, cool. Clear, clear, clear. I was clearing all the stuff that was coming up. And then one of my other friends, Maddie, and she actually does scuba diving all the time. She's she trains people and whatnot. She was like, oh, wow, this shark's really big. And Alyssa looks in the water and she was like, oh my God. And she starts screaming to her husband and she's like, Taylor, there's a tiger shark. Oh my God. And he's like, how big is it? She's like, at least 10 feet long. And I'm like, I can't even tell you what I was feeling being in this middle of the ocean and feeling like this big with a pool noodle, some flippers, and a scuba mask. I was with my group of people. They encouraged us to scoot closer together in this group, and everybody had to stay together. They're like, no, just stay together, because we had to wait for him to swim away, and you don't want to splash the water and make like a bunch of chaos. So, okay, cool. Well, luckily, I look over at Violet, and And I'm looking at her and she's just going, it's okay. It's okay. And I was like, okay. And just watching her say that, it was comforting because I started breathing and relaxing myself back into an okay state. I'm not going to die. Something's going to happen. This guy he's going to swim away. Well, Taylor jumps in the water and he was already making like the racket. Something, I guess it like spooks him away. I don't know. I really don't know. So yeah, he gets in the water and immediately like everyone feels safe. We stayed in the water. We did not hurry to the boat and get out, and we were told to move further away from the boat. And I was like, okay, well, here I go, you know. So we swim further out, and I just keep looking, and there was these really cool fish that arrived, and they were black and they had stripes. So later someone asked what those fish were, and Taylor jokingly, he was like, oh, that's piranha. We were like, what? Okay, well, apparently they're Hawaiian piranha is what they call them. Like, they're not, good morning, they're not like actual, like the piranha, you know, that will, oh my gosh, anyway. So yeah, they were like, okay, let's go ahead and head back to the boat. I was first one back to the boat, just so you know, and I was first one up and out of the water. And I really had no desire to go back in because I was like, okay, I faced my fear. I faced my resistance of going into the ocean because of the shark, and then the shark showed up. And I just cannot even tell you how crazy that was, to literally be exposed to your fear, literally not even 10 feet away from you, and to work through it and to have the support of, like, I swear they're all my team. It's just like, they're all my people. And I was in this big body of water and being so far away from that boat, and I was like, okay, I did it, like, yay. But anyways, that's like a follow-up to my resistance. I've been posting a lot about resistance and being in the flow and like actually going into that resistance, because that was part of our theme in Hawaii. So I've posted some on my business page, and I've posted some in our little group, and I may post some right here. I don't know. I even made an ebook already. So yay! Anyway, I will talk to you guys later, but I wanted to share my shark story, and I'm going to post the picture because they had an underwater camera thing, and I'm going to share that with you guys so you can see like how big this thing was. All right, bye.